welcome, podcast listeners. You are here with your host, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap. That's me. If you're on the stream, you can see my beautiful face. You are also here with Lee, and unfortunately, you can see his face too. It is.
Well, I've got a new haircut.
Well, it was new last time. Now it's old hat, mate.
Mate, I'll tell you what. By the end of Christmas, I look like a tramp.
I mean, oh, the end of Christmas
it looked awful.
Oh
man.
Yeah, so it's episode number 180, LiveCast. I don't even know which one it is anymore. I've given up on counting. We are again continuing on with the World Cup of Pedals 2021 this week. So stay tuned, and we will be getting on with groups B and F. If you follow us on the socials, you'll have seen a little sneak peek as to what's coming up. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. As always, we need to warm up the podcast with our standards, with our what we've been up to. Do you want to go, or do you want me to go, Lee?
I'm easy, mate. You can go first if you
go
like.
on then. I will. So, I mean,
go on, then.
Look, in terms of time, there's only been like 4 days since we last podcasted, so there hasn't really been a vast amount of stuff that's actually happened. But I recorded the Chevtone Preacher video, which will be out tomorrow, or 2 weeks ago if you're listening to this on the podcast. So, I mean, yeah, that's how time works. So, yeah, I've recorded the Chevtone Preacher, and my God, is it good? It's just fantastic. Who we got coming up in the chat? We've got Yeomans, and he said it's not Sunday.
No, it's not, is it? But here's the thing: we're going to be doing a live cast regularly for the next few weeks or so because of a COVID situation. And we thought, do you know what? If we're going to be doing it every weekend, it's just going to be like taking up a bit of our weekend every week. So let's just do it during midweek, and we can just have our weekends to ourselves.
And that's it. And I think in terms of like our in like the viewing figures within the group, midweek actually makes a bit more sense than the weekend, because we get a bit more traffic. So hopefully we'll get a few more votes on this this Pedal World Cup as well. But yeah, so recorded the No Talk Hotone on the Preacher, and I was getting some like really kind of familiar sounds out of it. I was likening it to the best bits of the Mojo in certain settings. But with the Mojo, if you set it, like if you've got it set in the perfect position, everything just sounds beautiful. If you tweak those just a bit, it can sound like a bit flubby if you're up the bass, or it can sound a bit undefined if you've not got the treble just set right. And there's a very, very thin bit of the gain sweep where it sounds like really lush. And the Preacher has got that sweet spot, but then if you push the gain, it still retains all of that clarity and all of the goodness. So I was in my absolute element playing this. I ended up recording a video that was about 15 minutes long, and I had to cut bits out, which is unheard of for the No Talk Hotones. I usually do them in one sitting, like do it in one sitting and without having to cut anything out of it. But I ended up playing too much, which is it's not a bad problem to have. So yeah, that's coming out soon. And then the week afterwards, which will be out by the time this airs as a podcast, I should, fingers crossed, I should have the that's it. I should have a video for the Antares coming onto the No Talk Hotone.
It's about the only Tate pedal I don't have, but that and a couple others. But it's the one I should have. I should get one from Stu.
Absolutely. I mean, I've demoed it on the channel before. I think he sent me through like the pre-production model, which I think you had at some point as well.
Yeah, I had that for a while actually.
Indeed. So I tried that and I did a little demo on it, and like since then I've managed to up my game in terms of like video quality and audio quality, and just I think it's about time that the Antares gets the no talk or tone treatment. So that's what's going to happen, and it's one of the special edition ones as well. It's the green finish, like the lime green finish.
Oh right, okay, yeah. They look wicked. They do. Like, match my cab. Really
Indeed.
cool.
Yeah, and again, it's thanks to Mr. Yeomans from Chevtone for letting me do a borrow. So he's
Okay.
man in the know.
Let you lend it.
So that
As they say up north.
that's coming out soon. I should have. I think I've got down here as well. I've got something through the post because I found it as a nice little Billy bargain on the on Tinterwebs, and I put it up as a guess what pedal it is on my Instagram today. So here you go. Pardon me.
Do you know what? It's not coming through very well. Is it one of those Amazon?
It's
pedals?
it's a K-line pedal, and it's their orange burst.
Oh, K-line. I've been talking to them.
Yeah, and this is apparently it's one of their best selling pedals. It's based on I say it's inspired by, should I say, the exotic BB preamp. So
Yes.
it should be pretty nice.
Don't you have another pedal which I lent you, which is based on that as well?
Well, that was a zip amp, wasn't that the one that was based on that?
Could be. Have I got that one? Or
You've got that one.
I can see one I've got.
You've got that one.
Oh, that's a shame. You could have done a shootout.
I could have indeed. In fact, I could have.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yep, that's over there.
I could have done a three-way shootout between that, the K-line, and the Stomp.
Ah, yes, you could have. Yes, Stomp versus Stomp versus
Indeed.
Stomp.
Yeah, I think how I've done it in the past is doing two of the HX Stomp models versus a pedal, haven't I? But I can do it the other way around as well. Clever like that.
Why the hell not? Why the hell not?
Yeah, and to be fair, like the companies like Mosky and K-Line and Joyo tend to be really big hits on my channel. Being the budget pedal chap, you'd expect so. But they tend to be the ones that bring in loads of people and bringing in loads of like genuine like questions about the product as well. So I'm always up for doing a couple of those sneaky little diamonds in the rough. So I'm not plugged it in yet, but I'm very excited to try it.
Mr. Budget Pedal Chap, do you know what? I have an orange pedal coming to me soon.
Do you?
Can you guess what it is? It's definitely not a budget pedal.
And it's orange.
It's orange.
Is it entirely orange?
Yes.
So it's not. I was thinking perhaps a Thorpy mushroom cloud. Sorry, it's not. It's the Fallout cloud now, isn't it? Sorry, my bad.
Yep.
Entirely orange pedal. I don't know. What are we saying?
It's an MXR.
Phase 95 or one of the.
Nope. I've got a 1976 Phase 100 coming to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know. It's one we had for Tonepedia. We're going to be releasing it in the next couple of days. So, breaking news for you all. So we're actually releasing that and a block version. They're both 70s ones. I think actually the block one might be an early 80s one. Sound drastically different though, but I was like, do you know what? I want that. So I bought it. Yeah, Phase 100 from 1976. I can't plug it in like without a battery and stuff like because it has no DC jack or anything along those lines.
Does it not? I thought they were.
So
I thought
no, not that
okay.
early.
Because I thought they had like the weird like 3.5 mil jack input.
No. It was way
Does it?
before
What?
then. Way before then.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know if MXR ever went down that route. I think they might have gone straight to barrel. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, that's going to be my first classic MXR pedal. I've got some classic Boss pedals and stuff, and Ibanez pedals and that. But that's going to be my first classic MXR pedal. But I really want to get the MXR Blue Box, an original.
Yeah. I can understand why, but I mean, what a place to start though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Phase series from MXR are just iconic, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a 6-stage phaser, whereas I think the MXR Phase 90 is a 4-stage, and the Phase 45 is a 2-stage.
They're all very distinct sounds as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Very. The Ripple Falls that I got, which we spoke about last week, that is the Ripple Falls. Sorry, that is a 2-stage phaser on that, and it's really nice because it's there. It's very obvious that it's there, but it is nice and subtle. It's very very tasteful.
Yeah. I was listening to the Ripple Fall actually. Little plug for the YouTube channel. Our Mikey dropped a Ripple Fall video, and I was really impressed with the sounds on that. Actually, I thought it was very nice.
Yeah, I every time I watch one of Mikey's videos, I'm like, God, that sounds so good. So I don't know why I'm so surprised every time, but it was. We spoke to the guys over at Jam, and they were like, awesome, thank you so much. They just love what we do with it, and yeah, it's great. It really is absolutely fantastic pedal. I found myself because I always set modulations like that with very low rate but high depth, so you kind of get this sparkly sound, or on a phaser it's kind of like that very slow, almost flangery sort of wash from one end to the other, and it's got this speed button in the middle which you can hit to just like ramps up the speed quite a lot, and I just couldn't get my head around it. I was just like, I don't really need that button. And then the guys over at Jam were like, well, hang on a minute. Try and set it like a Leslie with a slow speed for a Leslie, and then hit that to ramp the speed up like you would, because you get usually 2 speeds on a Leslie, don't you?
Yeah.
And yeah, it sounded great. It really did.
I think I found a podcast
nice
title there with your flangy wash.
What's that? Flangy wash. Don't they call that a douche?
Oh dear. Any subtlety is come and gone there.
Right, dude, what else you got to?
That's pretty much it. To be fair, like I say, we've had 4 days since today and our last podcast. I think the unboxing video of the Timbertones tin, this one, with it's called the Blues Tones tin, and I did a little unboxing video on what you get with that. I think around here somewhere is like a tiny little papoose that the tin came in. Very, very fancy, very fancy. But you
cool.
you did something today, didn't you? Like out of the blue.
I did. So I wasn't expecting my parcel to arrive until tomorrow. That's a lie. I was expecting it today, and then I got an email saying, "Oh no, it's not going to be here till Friday." And then out of the blue, it just turned up.
Oh, nice.
So it was kind of like a bit of a roller coaster because I've been waiting for this since before Christmas, and I've been really, really excited to get it. And if you missed it, what happened was a company from Italy called Jed and Freer, who make amps and all sorts of bits, have started getting into utility products. So they're getting into like MIDI switches and switching systems for amps. So if you've got lots of amps and you want to switch them between one cab, you can do it. and so on and so forth. And one of the things that they've got into is power supplies. But if I put it very, very, very bluntly, these guys do not fuck about. Right. So they just don't, man. They are very, very to the point. This is what everyone wants. Most people give everyone a little bit less. What we're going to do is take what everyone wants, give them a bunch more, and put it out at the same price as everyone else, and that sort of thing. So they've created this power supply. I just over here, go and watch the video, the unboxing video I did earlier, to see the sizes and these sort of things. But it's got 15 outputs, and every single output has 1600 milliamps on it.
I mean, that's enough, isn't it?
So it's just...
That'll do you. I mean, 15
we did speak about
anyway.
this briefly before, but...
We did.
Sorry?
So it's 15 outputs will absolutely do you, won't it? Like, I would have thought that'd be big enough for anyone, but hey ho.
Yeah, it's amazing, because I've downsized my board a little bit in terms of the amount of pedals. So I've gone from 22 pedals to I think I've halved my number of pedals, but most of the pedals that I've got now do 2 to 3 times the amount of things. Actually, no, I haven't halved it, because I haven't counted in my wahs and these sort of things. But wah, an expression pedal, I should say. But yeah, it's gonna power everything. I've looked at loads of things that need more power, and like even my core, I think only needs about 1200 milliamps.
Okay, yeah.
So only I can't think of a power supply that gives even one output that gives 1200 milliamps.
Yeah, I've not got one.
This has got 15 of the buggers.
If I was pairing something like that, I'd have to chain multiple ports out to get anywhere near it.
I don't think that works with ampage, does it? It works with voltage, but I don't think that works with ampage.
It's the other way around, isn't it?
I could be wrong, but I don't
voltage
think it
doesn't
does.
change. The current can be summed, I believe. Anyone who's more knowledgeable in the comments, let us know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can stack voltages, but you can't stack amperages. Amperages just spreads out over the number of outputs or whatever. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's got a fan on it, so there's a couple of things I experimented with before we came onto the live stream to see how it added up. The fan on it is dead silent. All you can hear is a very, very, very small amount of fan noise in terms of the just pushing the air. There's no hum on it or anything along those lines. And once it's under the board, I don't think I'll be able to hear it. And then once I put it on the floor, because it's right up by me at the moment, I definitely won't be able to hear it. And as soon as I turned the amp on, I couldn't hear it. That's for sure.
Yeah, you could get one of those oscillating fans, and as soon as you switch the amp on.
People worry about it for recording purposes, so that's why I mention it. But yeah, it doesn't make anywhere near enough noise for it to be a factor. I'm sure the road near me makes no noises. The outputs, they're all lit up, no matter whether you have a power, a cable plugged into it or not. Whereas other power supplies I've used, they only light up when you've got them plugged in or when they're active. So that's something to note. But it is handy because the whole side of it is black, so it does show you where you're plugging into. So it acts as a guide. So that's an upside to it. The little connector that comes with it, which is called the Edison, it has polarity changing on it, so you can change it from center negative to center positive. And then you've got 4 different options, which are 12 volts, 15 volts, 18 and 21 volts, I believe it is. And what I did is I plugged in my Cali 76. Now that can take up to 18 volts. I don't know if it could take any higher, so I didn't try it. But what I did is I played it at 9 volts, then I plugged that in and then tried it at 12 volts, and then I just kept pressing the button to switch between the 3, and I could feel it compressing more as I went up in the voltage. And that was a nice way of it showing me what adding more voltage to a compressor does. Because I expected it just to make the compressor louder. It does that on the carbon copy delay. As you increase the voltage on the carbon copy delay, it gets louder. Well, the repeats get louder, I should say. But on this, it just compressed more. It just got tighter and tighter, and I could actually feel it. It was a really strange feeling because you don't normally feel it in such a sudden increment. So that was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I'm gonna highly recommend that to anyone, because cost wise, it's equivalent to what you'd get out there already. They have an AC module on its way. I've actually got a prototype of that here as well, and I tested that out with my whatchamacallit, Line 6 Doodah, the synth, the DL, not the DL4 but the FM4, which is bloody awkward to power. That's 1200 milliamps, 9 volts AC.
So it's
Center positive.
It ticks multiple like bastard boxes.
Yeah, center positive, 1200 milliamps, 9 volts, AC. Just what were Line 6 thinking when they did that? It's just like, let's make something really good that no one can use.
It was supplied with a power supply, wasn't it? So it was like, you've got to use this. And to be fair, back then, like Pedalboards were someone with a one spot daisy chaining pedals together. It weren't as complicated and as nuanced as it is now. So
I think you can say that. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, whereas pedalboards it seems in our kind of circles are almost as important as the guitar itself these days. It's how it's seen.
Yeah, well, I think it's as for me it is. For me, I want the pedal board and the amp to kind of be more or less one and the same. You get amps with effects and everything built into it, and so on and so forth. Even if it's just tremolo and reverb from old Fenders and these sort of things. So, you know, you get different drive sounds from different amps. You push them harder with a boost or whatever. That's the same as just having a boost built into an amp. So, yeah, the way I look at it is, if you can use your whole pedal board as your amp and just like all the bits are modular, then that's what you're doing, and that's how I run it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a very similar way. Everything pretty much goes in the front end, and it's the drive is on the floor, and it's essentially in lieu of having like an amp that has 3 different gain stages and like 3 different channels, as well as having inbuilt modulation and reverbs and delays and all this. So it is what it is, isn't it? I've noticed we're kind of about halfway through, and we should probably get our World Cup stages.
Yeah, let's do it. So let me bring up last week's. So last week we went through Group A and Group E. So we had the Boss DS1 and the DOD 250 go through from Group A.
No, we didn't.
And in Group... Did we not? What did we have? Sorry?
The DOD 250 and the Whammy. Neither of the bosses got through.
So 2 pedals I definitely wouldn't choose.
Yep.
No, I did choose the DC Whammy, didn't I? Yeah. Sorry. Okay, right. And what did we have in Group E then? It was the Solar Bender, Tone Bender, and the Range Master.
It was,
of course.
It was. Unfortunate for the MXR Distortion Plus. I think if it would have been in a slightly different group, maybe, but they were 2 heavy hitters. They were. So we're doing Group B and F this week. So we're basically running concurrently. We're doing one from the top row, one from the bottom. So we're doing a B and F. And in Group B, we have got.
I've only brought Group B up on the screen.
Yep,
Just to let you
cool.
know.
So in Group B, we have got the Electro Harmonix Big Muff. We have got the Dan Electro Talkback. We've got the Boss DM2 Delay and the Ibanez TS9. So what are your thoughts?
All right. Okay. So it's got to be 1 and 4 for me because I've never played the Talkback. I've heard good things about it, but I've never played the Talkback. And do you know what? Controversially, I don't like the DM2.
What?
Yeah, I've played it a couple of times, and I don't really like it. It's just, do you know? There's one other boss pedal I don't like, and that's the phaser. Those two pedals just don't do it for me.
Okay. I've just seen the chat, and we've got another vote for the TS and the Big Muff.
It has to be them two. They're so iconic.
Yeah, I was thinking because as much as the Electro Harmonix is iconic, I haven't really gelled with a muff circuit yet. I haven't tried too many, but I haven't really gelled with a muff circuit yet. So I'm gonna go DM2 and TS9 because I think again like the DM2 is iconic and it was the start of those kind of being able to do delays that small. So it was kind of heritage, isn't it? It's where it all came from. And there are so many things that kind of owe themselves to it. I mean, I don't think we'd be talking about the carbon copy if the DM2 weren't about.
Yeah, see, a carbon copy is one of my all-time favorite pedals.
Yeah,
and I think in a long way it seems better. But do you know what? That was the very first analog delay I ever plugged in.
yeah.
And yeah, hang on. Sean just got on. Can you repeat the question? Okay, on the screen, what we've got is we're doing Pedal World Cup. So you need to choose 2 to come through from here. So let us know which 2 you would choose out of these 4.
Yeah, so it's working kind of Football World Cup rules. So we're in the group stages at the moment. The two winners of the group go through to the kind of tournament round after that. So at the moment we've got 3 votes we've got 2 votes for the Big Muff, none for the Dano. We've got 1 for the DM2, and we've got 3 for the Ibanez TS9. So
yeah, how can you not put through the Tube Screamer? It's got to be. In fact, we could have put Tube Screamer on there. Have we got 808 in?
No, we haven't got 808 in another. No, I had to pick for one of the variants. I didn't do it with the Muff because they're so divisive. And some people will say, no, absolutely won't touch this certain type, but love the Green Russian or whatever. So I didn't want to.
So Sean's gone for Muff and TS9. That's Sean of Sugar Ray Licks as well. You should check out their YouTube
There we
channel.
go. So that's all. That's pretty much, unless we've got a landslide coming out with some more votes before the end of the show. That's pretty much putting those two through. I'll make a note of that. So we've got those 2. Do
you know what, dude? We're gonna have to call it Tube Screamer in general because we've called it Big Muff in general, and there's so many different variants.
Yeah, but like the Tube Screamer it's 2 camps, isn't it? It's your 808 and your 9, and even the.
No, they're the same. God damn, they're the same. Go on to Tonepedia, right? We have probably about 9 different Tube Screamers. And did you just pull something out of your computer?
No. What?
I've just My computer just made a noise that I've pulled something out of it, and I'm worrying what it is.
No, I was just checking the stream.
Okay, so yeah, we've got probably 9 different tube screamers on Tonepedia, and they range from the very, very first 808, which is in the narrow box, all the way through the 70s and the 80s, and all the way up to the modern tube screamers. And do you know what? They all sound exactly the same. This is the highest end quality audio you can get for any demo out there, without the compression that you get on YouTube. Go ahead and listen to it with some headphones on it. You're not going to get a better quality audio. Go and have a listen.
We've got Sean chipping in here saying it's fun to buy a talk box, but if you like once you use it once, the magic wears off. And I think that's what we're finding with some of these, because I've thrown in some novelties, and it's a bit.
But the talkback
No,
isn't a
it's a
talk box,
reverse
is it?
delay.
The talkback is the delay.
Yeah, but like the principle is very similar. I mean, throughout some of these, in fact, actually, in our next one, we've got a quite niche pedal, and it's one of those there. For some people, that will be the absolute sound, but then for others, it'll be, oh, that was fun. Like, for example, the Korg Miku. I don't think anyone is making that there. The crux of their pedalboard, is it?
You say that. My very good friend and fellow admin of Pedalboards of Doom, he was my best man at my wedding. Right? So, very, very good friend, Alex Wrigley, used it a lot on his album.
Well, there you go.
So I'll have to link you up to it, because it's good, man.
Yeah, so like some people will take the effect and run with it, and it will be their thing. But for the majority of us, it will be that was fun. So let's go on to Group F actually, whilst we're talking about these. So
Okay.
Group F, we've sorted Group B there. So Group F is the Digitech Bad Monkey.
Oh, hang on a second. We've just had Mr. Flisher, Anthony Flisher of Folks and Guitars. Anthony, quickly, let us know. Choose 2 of these.
From a group.
The Big Muff, Dano Talkback, Boss DM2, Ibanez TS9. I'll leave them up for you while you give us your answers while we move on to.
Okay, so we've got the Digitech Bad Monkey. We're going to have the Dan Electro Sitar Swami, not not the Ravish Sitar. I unfortunately dropped the ball with that one. So we're going to go with the Dano Sitar Swami. We're going for the EHX Holy Grail and the MXR Phase 90. I can almost guarantee that there's one of these that you're going to choose straight off the bat, based on your recent purchase.
yeah, that's a
it
given,
is, I assume. How about for the others though? So you've got Digitech Bad Monkey, which is very similar to the TS9. Dano Sitar Swami and the EHX Holy Grail.
Anthony chose very wisely for the Big Muff and the Tube Screamer.
Yeah, it seems to have gone the way that we thought.
I secretly think that you would have chosen the same if I had chosen differently.
Possibly, yeah.
I think you've just gone there just to make conversation.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the DM2 though. To be fair, I do like it. And analog delay is the best kind of delay. So
no, it's not.
You shut your mouth.
Tape delay is the best type of delay.
Right, so Bad Monkey, Sitar Swami, Holy Grail, Phase 90. What are you saying? Put your chips down now.
Not going to vote for 2 Tube Screamers in a row, so Bad Monkey can do one. It's good pedal, but why would I vote for 2? Let's face it, right? If later on it goes against Bad Monkey to Tube Screamer's going to win it all day long.
Possibly.
Even though the Bad Monkey is good, I think more people have heard of the Tube Screamer, so more people will vote for the Tube Screamer. Nothing wrong with Bad Monkey. I've heard Robert Keeley say, it's one of the best tube screamers he's ever used. So, the man knows a thing or two, doesn't he?
You could say that, yeah.
Ravish Sitar and the Sitar Sawi. I can't remember how it was pronounced. Never played them. Holy Grail, it's a good pedal. So yeah, it's going to be 3 and 4 for me. The Holy Grail, the Electro Harmonics Holy Grail, and the MXR Phase 90.
And we've got Anthony Flisher doing the exactly same Holy Grail and Phase 90. Again, I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go Bad Monkey and Phase 90. So we've got a 3 for the MXR at the moment. We've got 2 for the Holy Grail. We've got 1 for the Bad Monkey. Come on, people. The Bad Monkey is a good pedal.
No, Yeoman's chose Bad Monkey and Phase 90
yes,
as well.
Get in. So we've got. I mean, it's almost guaranteed there that the Phase 90 is going through, and the Bad Monkey's got 2, and the Holy Grail has got 2.
Sean, because you only picked 1, it means that the deciding vote's down to you. If you had to choose between the Bad Monkey and the Holy Grail, which one would you choose?
Are you going for just some reverb, or are you going for a tube screamer which has got an added bass control, so you can control the amount of that bass cut?
It's a good pedal. It is a good pedal. And it's probably better build quality than the Electro Harmonics as well.
Okay.
Holy Grail. He went for Holy Grail. Okay. I know why. It's because it's linked to Monty Python.
Okay. I'll allow it. So it looks like, because we'll run this through the whole of the podcast just in case anyone puts their votes in late. But it looks like our winners for today are the EHX Big Muff and the Ibanez Tube Screamer, and we've got the EHX Holy Grail and the MXR Phase 90. That does mean that Boss are kicked out of the competition at this stage because their 2 pedals were kicked out last week, and then their 3rd and final choice has been kicked out this week.
Oh dear!
I know. Who'd have thought it?
Who'd have thunk it?
But
yeah.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. And so we've got 2 from EHX going through. We've got our first one from MXR. I really thought that the Distortion Plus would have got through, but I mean, if it's all riding on the MXR Phase 90, it's on the shoulder of giants, isn't it? So.
Do you know that was the first pedal MXR ever released?
Was it now?
Yeah. And then it was the Distortion Plus shortly after. I had to write descriptions for the Phase 90 earlier, so I was reading up on it.
Fair play. Right. We'll do a bit of news before we head off, because we're doing pretty well in terms of time.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's not like we've been shanking anything either. Shanking, that's not the right word. Nothing that rhymes with that either. It's not like we've been like skimping. Skimping's the word I was thinking of.
Yeah, we've had meaty conversation topics. However, we've got some news, and this is news that I've put off for a little bit of time. So we are going to do this one now, which is the Reverend 6-gun HPP. So this is a bit of a strange one, mainly because of the odd, unusual but quite exciting pickup combination. So HPP describes what the pickup combination is: humbucker in the bridge, 2 P90s in middle and neck. So we've got HA5 humbucker and 9A5 P90s. With the Reverend stuff as well, you get the controls are a little bit different. So it's not like volume and tone or volume tone. You get a volume, like a master volume for the lot, but you also get a treble control and a bass control. So it's like a treble cut and a bass cut. so that you can sculpt the overall tone. And it's not something that's exclusive to this range. It's something that quite a lot of the Reverend guitars have got. But I thought that's quite cool. I think.
Do you know what my issue with that
Go
is?
on.
My issue with that is I play a lot of guitars. I swap between guitars all the time, and I like my tone to be my tone and my volume to be my volume. And the differences between my guitar aren't that much, such as like if I want to tap things, I know that on all my guitars that I can tap things on. It's just a pull of the volume knob or whatever, because you've got push-pull things. I don't want to turn around to my and have to think about it. This is why I don't have things like Jazz Masters and the Red Special and stuff with all these different switching combinations, because I'm like, oh, I don't want all that. I don't want to have different things to mess around on.
Yeah, you want a uniformity. But you tend to find the people who buy one Reverend and then buy more Reverends. They're quite a brand that there's an allegiance with. So I think, yeah, you might, like, if you are the occasional user of a Reverend, it might trip you up a bit. I don't think I'd necessarily worry all that much, because I'm not constantly tweaking the controls. A lot of the time it's just flat out, to be fair, and I get the kind of the dynamic and the tonal changes from where I'm picking and how I'm picking. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I think G&L guitars have something similar as well. So I think it's not exclusive to Reverend, but it's something that is across the ranges as well. So we've got quite a spec out guitar here. So they're carina bodies with either Pau Ferro board or roasted maple. 12-inch radius neck, so quite modern feeling. Bonite nut and the Wilkinson WV550 trem, which is their like upper market trem. I believe it's the ones that have got like the individually adjustable saddles, and then you adjust them via like Allen keys. So it's all very kind of sturdy. And it comes in 4 different colours, and I can't remember for the life of me what they were. I know it's got like a Daphne kind of blue, and there was like a satin 2-tone burst, maybe. Have you got a picture up there?
Let me grab a picture. What's the model number? Reverend.
It's the 6-gun HPP.
6-gun HPP.
Yeah.
Let me grab a picture for you.
Sure. Sean's giving some love to the old school big Holy Grail. Of course, that's for the one that we were talking about, not the cutback versions like the Nano and the. Did they do like a? They don't do micro pedals, do they? EHX.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay, so they do micro pedals, but they're micro in comparison to. They're called the Nanos, aren't they? So they're micro in comparison to what they usually are, which is the size of a TV.
I love that about electro harmonics. Just unabashedly ballsy.
There you go, boys and girls. That, I'll tell you what, despite my earlier criticisms, that is a sexy fucking guitar.
It's all right, isn't it?
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I can do it. It's on my face. Get off.
That Pau Ferro isn't particularly light either, is it?
No, I think the roasting helps as well. I don't think they would have roasted the Pau Ferro, but against the roasted maple, it gives everything more of a darker look. Yeah, because that's the criticism of Pau Ferro with a lot of guitarists, is that it don't quite look like rosewood, and it looks a bit like the midpoint between a roasted maple fretboard and a rosewood fretboard.
Yeah, if you oil it, it looks a bit better, but yeah, You don't want to have to oil your guitar every other day, do you?
Yeah, some people enjoy that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are coming in at 879 quid, which
It's not bad.
is not terrible. Considering it's a Carina body, I think they're Far Eastern made. They're made in Korea, but they're quality inspected over in the US. It's near bad. It's near bad. I mean, because you're talking like some of the upper end Epiphones and the PRS SEs are kind of reaching that kind of price as well. So it's competitive.
Honestly, I thought it was going to look like dog poo when you said it was like humbucker P90 P90, but now I'm looking at it. It's not bad at all, is it? It's really quite nice. I like the way they've done it. The humbucker, for people listening to this on the podcast, the humbucker actually has a black surround on it, and the P90s are black themselves, and they've chosen like nigh on exactly the same colour black, so it does follow through quite nicely. So you've got humbucker at the neck, humbucker in the middle, and then by the bridge, which obviously the bridge is chrome, you've got a chrome humbucker but with a black surround, so it kind of like the middle point is the humbucker where it blends the chrome and the black together, and then when you get to the bridge, it's mostly chrome.
Yeah, and you got
very
chrome knobs
nice
as well, which kind of tie that all in together as well. Yeah, it's a nice looking guitar.
Notice a black pickup switch as well.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I mean they've been putting out a fair few things. I think we failed to report on the signature Richard Gill, is it? I think someone like that. They've basically done a Reverend Strat, which was pretty cool, and we've not reported on that one. We might swing back round to that.
Who did he play for again?
Chelsea, Arsenal.
Richard Gill, I know the band that he was in. I'm sure I do. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean it's essentially like a Gilmore looking Strat. It's like black with white pickups, or like cream pickups, should I say? And yeah, decent looking, because it's a signature model. It's pushing into that like grand and a half kind of price point. So it ended up just kind of slipping off our news radar a little bit. But these 6-gun, because the 6-gun is a shape that's been out before, but the PP, so the HPP pickup configuration is quite a new one. So that's
Didn't we have a look at these in Birmingham?
Sure. Yes, I can't remember seeing it.
I think we did.
Oh, was that what we played at the Boss booth when we played the Wild Air?
Could be, because I think they were right next door to the
They
Boss
were,
booth.
and it was a triple P90 version. I'm pretty sure, weren't it? Because Matt Knight ended up buying that exact guitar. He did, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was wicked. I really liked it. I thought it played very well.
I was wondering where he was. Look, Mr. Bimson's just joined us. Are you staying here? He says, I'm not here, but Yeoman's is spot on.
he is, always is. Do you want to move on to one final bit of news before we wrap this cast up?
We can, my dude.
Which one do you want? Do you want the Noventa?
Do you know what? I think we have enough time to do both, because there's gonna be some overlap.
Go on then. Go on. So Fender have been having a busy old time. It seems like they're actually doing like almost like a faux NAMM 2021 release, because they've released a fair amount in the space of this week. One of which is the Fender Noventa series, which I think sits between like the player and the performer. Is it the American standard equivalent? So they're basically like made in Mexico, but you've got three different shapes: Strat, Tele, and Jazz, and they've all got a common thread that goes through them. each and every one of them has a P90, at least one P90. So the Strat is two P90s. So it comes in Daphne blue, surf green, and crimson red transparent, and it's coming up at like $799. So that kind of similar price point to the Reverend actually. Then you've got the telly. I think this is the one that's been catching people's eye a little bit more. So this one's a bit like it's got the look of like the Cabronita telly, where it's got like the half pick guard, the cut down control switch, and the kind of half bridge, and it's got one P90 in the bridge. So it's kind of Cabronita looking, but it's almost like Les Paul Jr. Inspired, or Les Paul Jr. sound inspired. And that one is looking absolutely fantastic. You've got these, in fact, you've got them up, yeah. So you've got the best color there as well, which is the Fiesta Red in this Cabronita looking Noventa telly.
It looks so rock and roll, that doesn't it? It really does. It's like a Les Paul Jr., isn't it?
It does. It looks like the Les Paul Jr. meets the telly, doesn't it? And then you've got the jazz version, which has got three P90s, which is mental. So you got the 1, 2, 3 going on here, haven't you? Go from right to left on this picture.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, if you like. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that a TV show in the 70s? 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2. I don't know what. Yeah.
Right.
One.
So the telly's coming in a bit cheaper because obviously it's got one less pickup. It's coming at $759. You've got vintage blonde. You've got the two-tone burst and the Fiesta Red. The Jazz Master is coming in a little bit more expensive. Comes in surf green, Fiesta Red, and walnut, which I assume is the one that we've got there. That's.
Guess so. That looks almost like an SG Red, doesn't it? On the
It does look like a vintage cherry, like transparent cherry, but apparently that's walnut.
I have been messing around with it because all the background was yellow. I realised I could do chroma key on it, so I did, so we can be seen in the background. It's deleted you away a little bit because of your ambient lighting, I think.
Terrible.
But yeah, it might have affected the colours a little bit. So just take it for given that should be walnut.
Yeah, and they look pretty nice. They've done a pretty solid job with the colour. Oh, pardon me, with the colouring as well. I think they're hitting the very popular kind of pastel Fender colours there, aren't they? Like the surf greens and the Fiesta Reds appearing. It's not a bad price point as well, considering. I think I'm.
Yeah, they look quite cool. And none of them really speak to me in a big way, apart from the Cabronita looking thing, because it just looks really. You can imagine playing that in a punk band, but you know when you see a punk band and you think, oh, they're just going to be playing like power chords all night or something, and then the guitarist goes ahead and actually surprises you, and you're like, oh shit, that's really, really good. That's the sort of guitar you expect them to be playing.
You are crafting a narrative around this one. I'd play some dirty blues. I'm pretty sure Billy Gibbons.
You play dirty blues on anything. When you take an Ibanez Gem and go and play dirty blues on it,
I would definitely would. Yeah, I think Billy Gibbons has got a similar kind of similar telly to that. So it's giving me Reverend Billy G vibes. But also Fender have not only just come out with this. I mean, they've come out with a fair few things. But we're also going to mention on their cheaper side as well. They've pulled an absolute blinder in the Squire Contemporary, the Squire Contemporary line. So
before we go on to that, we've just had a comment about the Reverends. So should I just catch on to that before we go on to the Squires?
Yeah.
Michael Kilford said Reverends are a great neck. Frets a touch bit big, but always the best setup for mid ranges in the shop by miles. Yeah, that's good. It's nothing better than actually getting a guitar and having it set up properly. It can be a completely different guitar to what you're used to, but if it's set up well and plays well, then it makes a hell of a difference.
I tend to find that with Ibanez guitars, their setups tend to be quite consistent when you play them in shops. Always liked Ibanez because of that. So yeah, Squire Contemporary. We've got a shed load. So we're going to start off. They're doing an HH Strat with a Floyd Rose, which it's got a roasted maple neck. It's coming in two colours: gunmetal metallic and shell pink sparkle. I think it is. That's
Oh, this one could be either of them. I think this is the shell pink sparkle, but it's a very subtle shell pink sparkle. I wonder who had a say on that.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very much a J Cross influence there, isn't it, or guitar nerds in general. We've got,
I don't think he would be choosing a Floyd Rose though.
I think they had to concede something, otherwise it.
The black against it looks nice.
Yeah, I mean,
for the listener, it's all black. You got the black pickups, black Floyd Rose, black knobs, black pickup switch, black everything, and all of that looks like a void on top of this sparkly shell pink.
Yeah, it's almost Ibanez-y again, isn't it? Like you've got a fair few Ibanez's that look like that. So next in the range is the RH Telly, which is it's got your standard Telly bridge pickup, but it's a rail rather than a single coil, and then a humbucker in the neck. Roasted maple again. You've got three colours on this one, so they're gunmetal metallic again, white pearl, and shoreline gold. And I've got to say, I saw that shoreline gold. I'm very, very tempted by that because it's like
really
roasted maple again. HS almost set up. I'd obviously not be having the high output pickups if I was keeping it, but it looks a quite tidy little machine.
Do you know what? Humbuckers in a Strat or a Telly, mainly a Telly. Humbuckers in a Telly is the same as putting single coils in a Les Paul.
No, it's not.
Yes, it's sacrilege and it should be banned.
I'm a fan of Telly neck pickups. I do like them, but I'll be down for this. I've got Tellys with humbuckers in the neck, and they sound fantastic. So screw you. Yeah. So I mean, so far, like the contemporary Strat with the Floyd Rose is €359, which not bad at all.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
The contemporary Telly $339. So we've got an HT Strat, which means hardtail. Again, I think roasted maple net. I'm not entirely sure actually with this one, but this is the one that's got that. It's got the three pickups, but the two are almost in a humbucker formation because they're right up against each other. And they're slanted.
This isn't hardtail though. This has got a whammy bar.
They do two different versions. They do one with the whammy and then one without. So the picture you're looking at is of the contemporary Strat with trem, and that's in the Skyburst finish. But they do the hardtail one in gunmetal metallic again and vintage pearl. No, it's not. Sunset metallic and vintage pearl. So the sunset metallic.
So
almost like a.
Sorry, mate.
Sunset metallic is almost like a sparkle finish cherry sunburst that you get on a Les Paul. It's almost that kind of vibe, and that's the hardtail one.
What colour is this?
The one on there is the sky blue metallic. Skyburst metallic.
Skyburst metallic. That's nice. Though.
Yeah, and I think that's roasted maple neck as well. So pretty tasty. I mean, like getting a roasted maple neck for this price point is unheard of most places. So
I'd say so.
the hardtail one is 339 again. And with the trem 339, so you're not getting a bump up in price for them adding a trem system. And then you've got the Jag, which is HH stop tail in shoreline gold, sky blue metallic again at 339. So like proper rock machines there, and it looks like they're kind of going for that Charvelli market, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see where the Strat with a HH in it sits. You know, that's going for the Charvel sort of thing. The 2 humbucker telly is kind of going for that Chapman market, isn't it? Then you've got the Jazzmaster is more or less a Jazzmaster. It's just got a Les Paul set up on the back end of it, so you're losing that stupid bridge trem system.
And it's got humbuckers rather than Jazzmaster pickups as well.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. Very, very good point that I overlooked there. But this Strat with the 3 angled pickups, for the listener, what you've got there is, you know how the bridge pickup is always angled on a Strat, then the others are straight. Well, it's angled all 3 of them, but as Mr. Budget Pedal Chap said, the bridge in the middle, it's like the bridge has been moved down towards. Sorry, the middle has been moved down towards the bridge, and they're like a third of the width of a pickup, a single coil pickup between them. So they're really, really, really close. So you put them on together, it is going to be like having a humbucker.
Yeah, it's very much humbucker looking, isn't it? I had to like take a double take on it just to make sure it weren't. But they are separated, and it's really interesting. But
you know what, that gives you.
Sorry, what you say?
That's as authentic as you can get for having coil tapping.
Yeah, definitely. I was really surprised that the neck pickups slanted as well, which that's got to be pretty cool. It's just something new, isn't it? And it's I'm quite excited by that. I think I might have to go try some.
I wonder if it. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
I wonder how it would look in real life, because sitting here looking at a picture, it's obviously been photoshopped. You know, it looks great, but how's that really going to look in real life? Is it going to look good, or is it going to look empty?
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to see it in, because I assume even though they can't do like the expos themselves, I'm assuming now they've been announced, they'll be making their way to certain YouTube personalities, and you'll be able to see kind of what it looks like next to someone as well.
Yeah, that's fair play. We should also point out that this Strat with the slanty pickups only has 2 knobs, a volume and a tone. It doesn't have the extra tone pot. Neither does the one with the 2 humbuckers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything missing on the Jazzmaster?
No, I can see. Apart from the massive massive trem system at the back, no, it looks. Mind you, it's got. It looks like it's got one knob and a switch rather than the 2 knobs for the jazz circuit. So maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Jazzmasters, if I'm honest.
Me either. We need someone who is, really, don't we? We need to get someone with us who knows a bit more about these sort of ambient guitars.
Yeah, the offset kind of stuff.
Surfy guitars. Yeah, for sure, man. So that is that for the Squires. I think they've done a good job. I think they're going to hit that sort of young player market for, you know, they're putting out some good guitars, and I love roasted maple necks. I think they look really, really good. That the one with the Floyd Rose, if that was just a normal trem system, I think I'd really like that.
I mean, you could just block the Floyd Rose for that price. it could be well worth it. And Floyd Rose systems are good for tuning stability, even if they are blocked. Because you had Mick Thompson from Slipknot who had a blocked Floyd Rose trem. It was a blocked Ibanez Edge trem, I think, on his signature, and also Monkey from Core, maybe, or it might have been Head. I don't know, one of the two, who had like a blocked edge system on his signature Ibanez as well.
Didn't they use 7 strings, didn't they? If I remember
Yeah,
rightly.
possibly.
Or did they just tune down like a motherfucker?
I think they did both.
There's one of the
I
two.
think they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
God, I miss listening to Korn. I used to listen to them a lot.
I always thought a good tribute band name for them would be Corn on the Cob. But with the backwards K. I think that is probably a place where we need to wrap this podcast up, if I'm honest.
You could do like a KFC logo and then put "Would you like corn with that?"
Oh dear. Right, so we wrap this up as we would usually. I give thanks to all of those people who joined in with the live chat today, especially down to your votes, even if some of them were wrong. Putting through the Ibanez Tube Screamer, and what else did we have in that group?
Let's put it up now. We've got it here. So we had the Tube Screamer and the Big Muff coming through from Group B, and Group F we had the Holy Grail and the MXR Phase 90, of course, go through from Group
that we
F.
did. So thank you all for participating in that. We also need to extend a massive shout out to our Patreon backers, who are the people who turn this light on, this one here. Like, there we go. They keep that light going.
God.
And for as little as $2 a month, you can be one of these amazing people who get their name shouted out on every podcast. And we will start off with Mr. Andrew Bimpson. We will say Mr. Adam Yeomans of Chevtone Effects. We have got Mr. Doug Christ of 37FX. We have got Joseph Richardson of Joseph Richardson Music and Abstraction Band. We have got Hugh G. Rection in the pants. We have got Mr. Fletcher of Fletcher Pickups. And we have got Mr. Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast. If you want to catch me online, you go anything with Budget Pedal Chat pretty much. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And YouTube is the home of the No Talk All Tone series, which has recently featured some Chevtone stuff and will be featuring the TateFX Antares very soon. Lee, you are Pedalboards of Doom, Instagram, and YouTube as well. I mean, we both do some content for that. And we occasionally do these live podcasts as well, which are going to be happening a little bit more frequently over the next couple of weeks, helping us get through the World Cup of Pedals 2021. So that will be us for this week. So from myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap, from Lee, say bye, Lee.
Bye.
It will be a tatty bye and good night for this week. See you later, bit.
See you soon. Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.